we're back on the Staff Ghost Challenge. That's what this is being christened, whatever it's called. And the goal's very simple. Just beat the Staff Ghost and try to unlock the Expert one. And if we can beat it, that's really awesome. So, well, here we are. We're into the show. And the good news on... Oh, geez. The good news about this series is this. I have made a decision about its future. And I kind of was musing a little bit about us doing this with the Expert Staff Ghosts as well. And I've kind of decided against it. I'm going to explain why here while I kind of drive along and destroy this daisy here. And it's because of this. I don't see what would be different between this, like where I just beat the regular Staff Ghost, and then the one and doing the series where I beat the Expert one. Other than me being more frustrated and essentially just using it as a content milk. And I don't really like using stuff as a content milk. Or to milk it for content. Because I just don't see the point. You know, like, what? I just don't see... I think it would just be too similar. And I would prefer to just not. Like, the only... it's literally, like, the only reason I'm doing We Party You is because I think it's different enough, just in terms of minigames and all that it is actually worthwhile. And obviously Mario Kart World exists because, well, it's the new Mario Kart that's been out for a little over a month at this point. So, but with the Expert, just doing the faster the Expert, it's literally the same thing with only slightly faster. Not really seeing the point of doing that. Anyway, we're moving on to Koopa Cave. That was actually a really simple lap. I wasn't paying attention for most of it. I just kind of drove on instinct. Which I guess is kind of a benefit of the 3-star challenge. But again, the other thing I think, like, the 3-star challenge, low-key, prepared me for a ton of this. Of just driving like this. Because the thing is, you know, and on some hands, or in some ways, the 3-star challenge is unrealistic as all get out. But in others, it actually drives quite nicely. I have to figure out what my content plan looks like for the fall. Because, again, I'm going to be really busy during the fall. I need to get a lot of stuff pre-recorded. But on the bright side, after December, I won't have to. Because I'll be done. And that'll be pretty cool. And can we just talk for a minute, though, about the fact that I'm quite literally miles ahead of Koopa Troopa here. See, this is what it looks like when I get an even remotely fair shot to succeed. I haven't even used a mushroom yet. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I haven't even used a mushroom. And I'm still just completely ahead of the competition. I'm sure there's a spot to use these mushrooms. But... I mean, I'm just having a great time over here. Not really doing very much. Just hanging out. And... yep, just gonna cut across the grassway here. I'm not even doing wheelies. Like, I'm just so far ahead of this guy. It's not even funny. I may actually I may be able to get there in sub 3. Actually, might be able to take the water cut. Really save some time. That was really not good. Anyway, 243. That's a pretty fair clip. That's probably faster, to be honest with you. Than the Fast Staff Ghost. It probably is, actually. I'll have to check. Let me just check. I'm just curious. Yeah, it's 241. Oh, it's 241 versus 243. Wait, I'm slower than myself. Well, that's disturbing. I've fallen off, actually, since I guess the last time I did this, because I did this a little while, because I first played through, and like my main account is a 100% unlock, because I was bored at one point before I became a creator. No, this would have been after I became a creator. Yes, this would have been after I started on YouTube. Yes, this would have been after. Because I don't think I started the 3-star challenge pretty soon after I dumped all my Wii stuff into Dolphin. In fact, I think that was the reason why I dumped my stuff into Dolphin, if I recall correctly. Like that's literally the reason. That's why I have all my old Miis and all that, because I was able to dump all my Nans in and do everything. Like, because if I recall, that's why I did it. Yep, we've got a pretty solid lead. This is pretty solid. You know, we're not Troy, but it's pretty good. This basically, I had left, so I think I may have told this story in a different video. I'm not sure if I did. I can never remember, because my memory's not the best. Well, okay, it kind of is. It's not. Long story short, anyway. So you know how the intermission tracks in Mario Kart World are kind of like, let's be honest, they're exercises in driving in a straight line. I went up to see a friend of mine in a different city. I went on Canada Day, which if you're watching this and you don't know what that is, that's July 1st. I drove up. I was driving along on the highway. And if you've ever been to Canada, or I think the US would have this too in parts of the Midwest or just the central part of the country, it's just a straight line. And I remember thinking, as I was listening to music on the way up and on the way back, it's just Mario Kart World. All this is an intermission track, and then the cities are the actual track. If you think about it. Like, it also doesn't help that, you know, that for the most part you're driving along 2-lane roads. So in order to get past anyone, you're essentially, you have to pass them. Like, obviously you have to go on the wrong side of the road and pass them and do all the rest of it. And I was just saying, you know, it's literally an intermission track. That's all this is. And I'm like, why? And you know, I don't know about you. I don't find driving on a highway. Oh. Well, I love that we're not even using the mushrooms to take shortcuts. We're just using them to save our... Or I'm not even using them to take shortcuts. I'm just using them to save myself from poor decisions. There's something kind of funny about that. But yeah, I was just... Anyway, you're just driving along. It's like, well, it's an intermission track. That's all it is an Anyway, that's all it is an intermission track. That's all it is. I'm like, I think that's ridiculous. I think that you know, on the one hand, I don't mind them. But also, why do I have to play 80% of a track or more is driving in a straight line? Like, it just makes no sense. Like, what's the point of doing it that? Like, I get that it looks great in free roam, but just please take it out of Grand Prix and online, or at least give us the option to have something else. Like, World can't even fill lobbies anymore because in the worldwide mode because of this change. Like, just Nintendo, put it back. I just realized I haven't used a single mushroom, and I'm still ahead by a pretty comfortable margin. I'm actually not really sure where I'm supposed to use these on this track. I've played this game on, like, casually for content, and, you know, pretty much every way but competitively for pretty much since it came out in 2008, I think. That's when I got it. And I still have no idea where the shortcuts are on Grumble Volcano. Whoa. Like, I genuinely could not tell you. Also, it's just... all it is to me is just a blur. Like, I haven't even used any mushroom. I haven't done anything at all with it. I'll use one here, because I did hit a wall. And another one there. No! And one here at the end. Yeah, I made it through most of the track without doing anything. Yep, fast staff ghost. Whoops. Anyway. So now, here's my thoughts on this. I think we leave the special cup for last, and I'll tell you why. Because I think we should end with Rainbow Road. And plus, I think we should. I think it's better that way. Actually, it occurs to me I should have done the banana cup just out of spite. But, Anyway, just gonna head along on Peach Beach. I actually really like this version of the track in Mario Kart World. I think this is like the version of Peach Beach that they... Oh no! Anyway, I think the version of Peach Beach they put in Mario Kart World is the best version of the track. Like, the track design in World is on a different level. It's so good. It's just a pity you never actually get to drive them. You know, it's just... Hey, do the Cataquacks not even attack you? No, they don't. Cool. That's actually really good intel. 157, 158. We're up to 2 seconds of lead. I don't know how much we need for the, Go. Go. No, 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 no. Ah! That's really not what we've done. We've really screwed that up rather badly. Yeah, we're gonna have to reboot this. There's no way. Because I need to get them unlocked. As long as I can get them unlocked, it's fine. As far as I'm concerned. Like, you know, it falls under the heading of I could probably beat most if not all of the expert staff ghosts on this in this game. That being said, do I want to? I just don't really see the point. Yeah, I'm just gonna chop across here. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm actually gonna use all 3 mushrooms that I'm sure will not come back to bite me in any way, shape, or form. Alright. On the bright side, we've got a pretty great lead. We got a 6-second lead. That's pretty awesome. Oh! Come on. I actually timed it well enough I could take the shortcut. I'm a genius. I am a capital J genius. And all it took was a simple restart. And I think that's actually better than most of my times on this course since I started playing this on the channel. Oh, Yoshi Falls. This is actually low-key such a fun track to do stuff with. Low-key, this is actually a ton of fun to time trial because you can get it so close to being down to under a minute. I also did have to laugh recently. I saw the video of everyone on a golf course, and it wasn't Elbert. I think it was Red Deer. The one where the drunk guy essentially gets demolished by an NHL enforcer. And I just want to say, I want a serious question for that guy. Since he probably won't watch, but I'm curious. What sequence of events led your drunk brain to think taking on a guy who fights in sports for almost 20 years was a good idea? Like, it was a bold, that's what we call in the business a bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off for him. Like, it's just, why would you do that? You know, it's just, why? It's just a waste of everyone's collective time. Because you're not going to win. You're not winning against an NHL enforcer. Like, it's just, you're not, that is a fight that you will lose. The only people on this planet that could beat an NHL enforcer are other NHL enforcers. Like, maybe if you sent in the Black Ops of the US military, you might have a chance. But if you're anyone else, no, don't even bother. Hey, fast staff goes appeared. Great. Don't even bother with it. Just no. No. Anyway, 106. Here's the thing. I bet I can actually get this below a minute. Or not. Okay, it probably won't be a minute. Let's be honest here. It'll be, because a minute you would need to be going pretty hard on. Like, you would need to be doing a lot to have to get to a minute. The sad part is, it's probably, I actually could have, with a bit of better driving, I probably could have gotten that. Like, that definitely felt more doable. Maybe that's a video. Can I get below a minute in SNES Ghost Valley 2? Let's see, what are we at here? We're kind of flying through these, which is not unexpected, I guess. Like, I feel kind of bad, because I know people come, they like, oh, he's gonna struggle, he's gonna have to do all these things. Well, I sort of don't. Maybe I should have done this with have to unlock the fast staff ghost. That does raise an interesting question. Maybe I should have done it that way. Because the problem is I also don't really want to do that, because it would literally take forever. Like, that Coconut Mall fast staff ghost is crazy. I would have to probably learn the ultra shortcuts to have a prayer on that one. Like, it would be like, because I'm just not good enough at Mario Kart Wii, if I'm being honest, to have much of a chance. You know, I'm not Troy here. Like, it's just, ugh. No. We're going. I wish I had a hack. I could get me like infinite mushrooms, because then we could truly see how fast we can get around this. Alright, and across the line. It's pretty good. That's pretty fast, if you ask me. Wow, say nothing if I'm nothing if not consistent. Look at how consistent that was. Also, here's the thing. I'm just mentioning this today, because today I decided I was going to make myself poutine. And to do that, you need special, you need to make the gravy for it and all that. Now, because I store-bought the cheese curds. Alright, guess I got them at the local farmer's market, and they're delicious. But the only thing is, I have been blessed with like legitimately good cooking abilities. Like, I'm not saying this as like an ego boot. I've also not been, I have not been blessed with good driving abilities on ice, though. Weirdly. And anyway, I've been blessed with good cooking ability. Like, in general, I would say that I have been. I unfortunately have one weakness in making gravy. Or not in cooking. And it's making poutine gravy. I don't know why, I just cannot do it. I have several stories. Like back in high school, which was a long time ago, admittedly. But like back in high school, I went over to a friend's house. We were having a board game day. So, we were a bunch of us, we'd come around and we'd play board games at someone's house. Go over to one of my friends' houses. And, we're figuring out what to have for lunch, because, we're going to be there. We get there around 10, we usually left around 7 or 8. And we said, oh yeah, I'll just make poutine. And I was like, that was because, he had fries, he had all the ingredients. So I looked up a recipe for poutine gravy on the internet. And what I did was not that. What I did was, I think I was 16 at the time. It was either 15 or 16. And and I'm sorry, I'm so distracted right now by this. And basically, I made the gravy, I started the process of going, I put the butter in the pan, I chopped the onions, I did what needed to be done. Till I got to the section that said beef broth. And they didn't have any. They did, however, have beef bouillon. So, what I did was I basically said, well, my 16-year-old brain, I think it was either 15 or 16, whatever it was, in my teenage brain, I said, well, surely I think it called for 2 cups of beef broth. I said, surely 2 cups of beef bouillon is the same. Dear reader, or dear viewer, never have I been so wrong in my entire life. Because what happened was, as it turns out, everyone, and I didn't know this because I was 16 or ever, I was a teenager. As it turns out, beef bouillon is incredibly salty. So I put 2 cups of it in, and someone only noticed when the smoking started, and the smell was absolutely atrocious. So one of my friend's sisters stepped in, and she helped me, and she kind of took over and fixed it up for me, which was nice. I appreciated it. And then, because at the same time, I was like, so she kept adding oodles on oodles of water. So they had a whole bunch of this completely inedible. I'm going to restart this. They had a whole bunch of this completely inedible poutine gravy. And I do mean it was inedible, because while the taste itself was fine, like, the only problem with it was it was incredibly salt. It was saltier than, like, it is the saltiest thing I've ever tasted. Ever. And the sad part is, if you ignored that minor problem, I'm still having to restart, I hate these crabs so much. If you ignored that minor problem with the poutine gravy, it was actually really good. And then, about a year later, I would have been 15 when this happened, I was 16, and I went on exchange. And I went to an exchange with France because I was, trying to practice my French. And I went, and we went to the, they took us, my exchange partner and I, to the Côte d'Azur. And what am I doing? So I said, and I was real happy to be there. I really liked it. I'm losing everyone. The poutine gravy's degrading my performance in Mario Kart as well. So anyway, alas, I did it, and all was fine. And I said, I wanted to show him, because I was staying in my exchange partner's paternal grandparents' cabin. So I said, I'll make poutine. And not thinking, oh yeah, well surely this time I'm not going to be stupid enough to put in, make a 1-to-1 bouillon to broth ratio. And no, you'll be pleased to know I didn't. What I did instead was presumably either not chop the onions finely enough, or chop the Or I guess they're not mixed them effectively. I don't know what the problem was. To this day, I still don't know what the problem was. But the poutine was, well, kind of had chunks of flour in it. Like the gravy. And I couldn't, it was dinner time, so I had to serve it. I couldn't just, I couldn't just start again. No, I should have. I served it, and they were like, what are all these spots of flour? And I was like, oh, that's completely normal in poutine gravy. So, yeah, that was totally normal. Yep, totally. That's totally normal. Don't worry about it. They ate it, and we ate it, and I said it was, I at the time said it was pretty terrible. But they liked it. But you know what? You know what? Fair enough. If it works, it works. So, I love poutine, and I'm always really annoyed at it because I love poutine. It's like one of my favorite foods in the entire world. But I cannot make the gravy for the life of me. I don't know why, because I struggle with much more complex stuff. Like I make my spaghetti sauce at home. I home make that. I can make really fancy coffee cakes. I can do all sorts of baking, and but I've even made like turkey gravy for Thanksgiving. I've roasted a chicken. I've roasted turkey. I've made stuffing. I've done all sorts of stuff. I cannot combine simple ingredients to make poutine gravy. I don't get why. I don't know why this is such a problem. I just cannot do it. And it's funny. It is actually so funny. Like, it is my cooking, like, it's the final boss of my cooking, basically. One day, I will learn and perfect the perfect poutine. And the perfect poutine gravy. One day it'll happen. Today was not that day, because what happened today was I basically I was on track to have a pretty good sauce, or a pretty good poutine gravy. And I said, well, okay, I'll add in some extra herbs and spices. Yeah, I may have messed that up a little bit. And then I said, okay, fine, I'm so fine. Then I realized I still hadn't chopped the onions finely enough. So they still weren't properly dissolving in the gravy. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So I have this gravy, which is otherwise quite good, that I essentially cannot use. I just realized I've been talking this whole time and I've just been autopiloting. That's all I've been doing. I've just been autopiloting and I'm still destroying this Wario. I've spent so much time talking about poutine. I forgot to just actually play Mario Kart. And yet I'm still miles ahead. In fact, my times are progressively improving. That's funny. That's actually really funny. Anyway, we're gonna do Waluigi Stadium, and I think we're gonna end it off there, and I think we'll call it there. But yeah, one day I am going to, like, maybe this is something I do for like 10,000 subscribers or something like that. I just have a day dedicated, or a live stream, where I make poutine. And I make poutine gravy, and I do all the rest of it. The only thing I'm not really going to bother making is cheese curds. However, I will happily deep fry French fries. Like, I will home make the daylights out of them. Because homemade French fries are delicious. Because here's the thing, you just deep fry them. That's all you have to do. You chop up some potatoes, you add some seasoning if you want to, and you just and all you have to do is deep fry them. A little bit of, like, in 2 rounds. Like, you do halfway and then you finish them off. And then they're delicious. Like, it's like I said, I'm actually really good at cooking stuff. Like, I can deep fry like nobody's business. I think it's my Scottish heritage. It does it, because I can deep fry anything. Because the deep fried stuff is delicious. Here's the thing, you just get the batter, you know, you get some, you know, I especially fish and chips. I love making fish and chips. And if it's like, if you get a nice cool weekend, whew, it's delicious. But the only thing is it's very fatty. So you can't, yeah, so you have to be considerate of that. That's our new series, actually, JPP Cooking. And we do mean he's cooking. All he does, I'll do that after the face reveal, which will happen eventually once I'm comfortable with it. But yeah, I just think that's really, really funny. That of all the things to struggle to cook, it's poutine gravy. Like, I feel like that should be an actual, that should be like, no. Like, my gravy, as it stands right now, like, out in the freezer, is a literal poutine crime. That is an actual, like, that should be added to the checklist. Of how bad that is. Anyway, after spending some of the episode talking about everything but Mario Kart, I'm going to end it out. Next episode of this, my thinking is we have just these 3 cups left, and I'm guessing we can probably get them done pretty quick. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here. So thank you all very much for watching. If this is content that you enjoyed, please leave the video a like, subscribe, comment. You can comment about, comment poutine gravy recipes. I need them. I will try anything. I need something. Give me something. Because I don't understand. And if your recipe makes poutine gravy, I will, that lets me make poutine gravy that is actually edible in some meaningful way, I will be eternally grateful. So, and until then, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.